Listen carefully, because what you are about to receive is not just any message. It is my direct call to your heart. It is a cry that has echoed in the heavens, seeking to reach you. For a long time, I have tried to catch your attention in ways you may not have noticed. I spoke to you through everyday situations that seemed casual but carried my voice. I spoke to you through the words of people who crossed your path without you knowing I had sent them. I spoke to you in the deep silences when you were alone and felt something you couldn't name. I spoke to you in dreams you dismissed as mere, unimportant thoughts. I tried to knock on the doors of your heart with gentle signs, with loving warnings, with soul impulses that came from me. But your mind has been so submerged in the hustle, so distracted by the busyness of daily life, that you have not perceived the urgency of my voice. I do not tell you this to accuse or condemn you. I tell you this to awaken something in you that has been dormant for a long time. You have striven so hard. You have worked tirelessly. You have been chasing goals that the world imposed on you as necessary. And in this constant rush, without realizing it, you have distanced yourself from the sound of my voice. You were so focused on solving everything yourself, on staying strong and not falling, that you forgot that I am the one who sustains your life. You forgot that there is a deeper voice calling you from eternity. And although you were spiritually blind, I never stopped guiding you. My hand has been upon you. Even when you didn't feel it, my presence surrounded you in your darkest nights. Even when you thought you were alone, I saw every tear you shed in secret. I heard every prayer that came out more as a groan than a word. I was there in every moment of doubt, in every battle you fought without strength. Nothing you have experienced has escaped my notice. Now listen to me with an open heart, because what I tell you today is neither light nor fleeting. It is a heavenly announcement that you must accept with reverence. If your heart recognizes this voice, write Amen now and open yourself to what I will reveal to you. After this appointed time, you will no longer be the same person. What I have decreed for you will begin to manifest in a way you cannot ignore. Changes are coming not only around you, but also within you. Changes that were written from the beginning of your story, when you were not yet born, when you did not even know you would need this encounter with me. Because before you thought of me, I was already thinking of you. I was preparing your soul for this moment. Even when you were distracted, even when you didn't know what I was doing, your spirit was being formed in secret. Every night of uncertainty, every moment when you felt you couldn't go on, everything has been part of a divine preparation. Nothing was in vain. Everything had a purpose, and that purpose is about to be revealed. This is a prophetic time. The heavens are aligning, and the things that have been hidden will begin to reveal themselves. Do not ignore this word as you did before. Do not take it lightly. Do not let it pass, because this could be your last opportunity to enter into what I have prepared. Not because I closed the door on you, but because the times change and the seasons do not wait. It is time to turn your face toward me with all your heart. It is time to open your spiritual eyes. It is time to wake up. I saw your weariness. I saw the weight of the goals that the world imposed on you as if they were your salvation. I saw the rush that eclipsed my voice and the anxiety that made you run without a clear direction. I saw you fall into bed exhausted every night, feeling insufficient, feeling that you lacked something you couldn't achieve. I was there. I saw it all. And now I tell you clearly, I do not walk behind you trying to catch up. I go before you. I prepare the way even before you take the first step. What seemed like a delay to you was protection. What you called silence was the silent preparation of the ground where you will soon walk. I did not make you to carry the weight of your existence alone. I did not design you to be so self-sufficient that you would forget me. The self-sufficiency that the world celebrates is actually a prison disguised as achievement. I invite you to turn your gaze away from the noise, to disconnect from what distracts you, and to fix your eyes on me. Because when you look at me, everything else finds its place. Priorities are reorganized. The urgent stops shouting so loudly. The essential emerges clearly. You have lived under the tyranny of the urgent, rushing from one task to another, from one demand to another, without stopping to ask yourself if this is really the path I have laid out for you. Many of the things you have done did not originate with me. They arose from the expectations of others, from silent comparisons, from fears that pushed you down paths that were never yours. But I do not condemn you for this. I understand the pressure you felt. I saw how you tried to please, how you tried to prove your worth, how you struggled not to disappoint. And now, I tell you with tenderness, you can stop. You can rest from this race. Because your value is not in what you do, but in who you are to me. I love you not for what you produce, but because I chose you before the foundation of the world. Your tiredness is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you have been carrying what did not belong to you. If you know someone who also carries this burden, send this word to them now, because it will bring relief to that person's heart. I want you to understand something fundamental. The silence you have experienced lately was not abandonment. It was the silence of a potter concentrating on his work. It was the silence of a surgeon in the middle of an operation. It was the silence of one who works with precision, because he knows that every movement counts. I did not move away from you. I drew so close that you were in my embrace, and thus you could not see me from afar. You were too close to have perspective, but never too far to be out of my reach. Now is the moment to recognize that the delay that frustrated you so much was actually my hand holding you back, preventing you from entering doors that would have diverted you from your destiny. I closed paths you wanted to open. I delayed the answers you urgently demanded, not out of cruelty, but out of wisdom. Because I see what you do not see. I know the end from the beginning. I know where every path leads, and I will not let you miss the best by rushing after what is merely convenient. Trust me when I close. Trust me when I delay. Trust me when I remain silent. Because in every moment, I work for you. Even if you do not understand it yet, after this appointed time, you will never be the same again. This is not a vague hope or a pious wish. It is a heavenly decree. It is a word sealed in heaven that is now manifesting on earth. At a certain sign, I will release upon you what I have prepared since before you were born. There will be a night when the heaven will speak louder than ever. That night, under the full moon, something will be released. It is not just energy or a movement without direction. It is a divine appointment. The heavens will open, and my spirit will move with power. Not everyone will see it. Not everyone will feel it. But you will know. You will feel it deep within you. Because this transformation will not be superficial. It will not be something you only see in your circumstances. It will be an inner awakening. It will be a shaking of your roots. It will be a cleansing of everything that kept you bound to the old. I will shake what you considered stable so that you can build upon the eternal. Do not be alarmed when the old structures begin to wobble. Do not be scared when what seems solid reveals its cracks. Because I do not destroy for the sake of destruction. I destroy what was built on false foundations so that you can build upon the rock. Many of the structures of your life were built on sand, on others' opinions, on fears disguised as prudence, on expectations that were never mine. And now the time has come to expose these fragile foundations, not to shame you, but to liberate you. I tear down structures that I did not put in place. I remove people who were not designed for this new stage. I close paths that did not lead you to my will, and I open a new path before you, a path that will not be easy, but it will be glorious. A path that will lead you directly to the purpose for which you were created. Do not expect comfort on this path. Do not expect immediate applause. Do not expect everyone to understand it. Because what I am doing in you is too deep to be explained with simple words. It is too sacred to be understood by minds that are still sleeping. But you will know. Within you, there will be an unshakable certainty that you are on the right path. Even when everything around you seems uncertain, I base your steps on what is eternal, not on emotions that come and go, not on circumstances that change with the wind, but on my word that endures forever. This is your moment to trust without seeing, to believe without having all the answers, to walk even when the fog hides the horizon, because I see beyond the horizon that limits you. I know the end from the beginning. I know where every step will take you, and I will not allow you to lose your way. My hand will guide you even when you do not feel it. My voice will direct you even when the noise tries to drown it out. My presence will envelop you even when you feel alone. Like this now, and subscribe so you can continue to receive every word I have for you in this new season. Do not ignore this moment. Do not let this opportunity pass. Do not fall asleep when I call you to wake up, because the times change and the seasons do not wait for anyone. The clock of heaven has been activated. The countdown has begun, and you cannot be left behind. Not because I abandon you, but because there is a specific time for everything. And this is your moment. This is your moment. This is your Kairos opportune moment. The opportune time. The right time. The moment when everything that has been prepared in secret finally comes to light. Prepare yourself, because what is coming will not be small. It will not be insignificant. It will be a transformation that will mark not only your life, but the lives of those connected with you. It will be a movement that will touch generations. It will be an awakening that will open doors that have been closed for years. Give me what binds you. Give me the certainties that imprison you, the comparisons that wound you, the maps that keep you trapped in the known. I do not ask you for what you have. I ask you for who you are, because what you possess can be taken, but who you are remains with me forever. I do not want your achievements. I want your heart. I do not want your successes. I want your surrender. I do not want your manufactured strength. I want your honest weakness, where you can finally say, I cannot do this alone. And I can answer, I know. And that is why I am here. There is something deep you need to understand. The surrender I ask of you is not a loss. It is a sacred exchange, where you leave what you fear losing. I will pour out what cannot be bought, where you let go of control. I will establish my order, where you renounce your strategies. I will reveal my ways, but you are afraid to let go. You are afraid that if you let go of what you know, you will be left empty. You are afraid that if you abandon your certainties, you will fall into the abyss. And so you cling. You cling to relationships that are already lifeless. You cling to jobs that drain your soul. You cling to old versions of yourself because at least they are familiar. But today I tell you that the familiar is not always right. The known is not always the destiny. And the comfortable is often the enemy of purpose. I do not call you to comfort. I call you to fullness. And fullness demands that you let go of the incomplete. It demands that you abandon what is broken. It demands that you let go of what has fulfilled its purpose. Do not make idols of your past achievements. Do not build altars to what once was. Because I am the God of the present and the future. I am the God who makes all things new. And I cannot create new things in you if you cling to the old with all your strength. Let it go. Let go of the expectations others have placed on you. Let go of the need to prove your worth. Let go of the obsession with controlling every outcome. Let go of the illusion that you can do it all yourself. Because you cannot. And you were not created for that. You were created to walk with me, to depend on me, to trust in me, even when you do not understand it. Surrender is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is not giving up. It is trust. It is not passivity. It is the most active form of faith. Because it requires you to go against all your survival instincts and say, I trust you more than I trust myself. I know this is scary. I know it goes against everything you have been taught. I know the world told you to be strong, independent, and self-sufficient. But I tell you that true strength lies in knowing when to surrender. True independence lies in depending on the one who can truly sustain you. True sufficiency lies in recognizing that only I am enough. Give me your plans, and I will give you a purpose. Give me your wounds, and I will heal you. Give me your failures, and I will redeem you. Give me your pride, and I will give you true humility that does not diminish you, but lifts you up. Give me your fear, and I will give you courage that comes not from you, but from me in you, where you empty yourself of yourself. I fill myself with you, where you recognize your insufficiency. I manifest my sufficiency, where you admit you do not know the way. I become your path. Do not hold anything back. Do not keep anything to yourself as if it were your ultimate security. Because as long as you retain something, as long as you hide something, as long as you reserve something, you will be divided. And a divided heart cannot fully receive what I want to give. I want it all. Not because I am selfish, but because I can only completely transform what is completely given to me. Surrender to me today without reservations, without conditions, without escape clauses, and you will see what I do with a life totally yielded to me. Take a step of faith. Do not wait to have all the answers before you move. Do not wait for the whole path to be illuminated before taking the first step, because faith does not work that way. Faith walks in the shadows, trusting that the light will come at the right time. Faith advances even when logic screams for it to stop. Faith obeys even when it does not understand. And it is this faith that I seek in you. Not a theoretical faith that simply nods, but a practical faith that moves the feet. A faith that takes risks. A faith that trusts. A faith that says yes, even when everything inside you wants to say no. The clock of heaven is perfect. I arrive neither late nor early. I always arrive at the exact time, at the precise moment, at the appointed hour. What you call delay, I call preparation. What you call delay, I call protection. What you call silence, I call maturation. Because there are things that cannot be rushed. There are processes that cannot be shortened. There are moments that must be fulfilled so that the fruit is ripe, not unripe. And I know how to wait. I know when the moment is right. I know when everything is aligned. But you must learn to trust my timing. You must learn to rest in my sovereignty. You must learn that my clock is not wrong just because it does not match yours. When my peace envelops you, walk. When it withdraws, wait. This is the compass I give you. Peace is not the absence of challenges. Peace is the presence of certainty in the midst of the challenge. It is knowing that you are in the right place, even when the place is difficult. It is knowing that you are on the right path, even when the path is narrow. Peace is the sign that you are aligned with me. When there is no peace, do not force it. Do not push doors. Do not insist on paths where my presence does not accompany you. Because without me, you can do nothing. Without my peace, you will be building on sand. Without my confirmation, you will run in vain. Learn to distinguish true peace from the simple absence of conflict. Learn to distinguish my voice from the echo of your own desires. Learn to distinguish my movement from the movement of your anxiety. Because not everything that moves comes from me. Not everything that seems urgent is important. Not everything that shines is gold. I am working in you an alignment that the world does not name. A deep alignment, a root alignment. Not just branches, not just fruit, but roots, because if the roots are aligned, everything else will fall into place. If the roots drink from the right source, the whole tree will be healthy. And I am aligning your roots. I am directing them to the source that never runs dry, to the living water that springs up to eternal life, to the place where there is no scarcity, where there is no drought, where there is no lack. Write 777 now as a prophetic act that you align with my perfect time. This alignment is not instantaneous. It is progressive, day after day, choice after choice, surrender after surrender. Every time you choose my voice over the noise, you align. Every time you choose my peace over the rush, you align. Every time you choose my will over your convenience, you align. And with time, this alignment becomes natural. It becomes instinctive. It becomes part of who you are. You won't have to struggle so hard to hear me. You won't have to struggle so hard to discern. You won't have to question so much whether it is me or not. Because you will be so aligned with me that my voice will be crystal clear. My guidance will be as evident as the midday sun. My presence will be unmistakable. But to get there, you must take steps of faith now. You must trust my timing now. You must align now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when you are more certain. Now. In this moment. In this instant. Because this is your moment. This is your time. This is your kairos. I do not ask you for a humanly perfect strength. I ask you for true obedience. An obedience that does not wait for you to feel like it, but acts because it trusts. An obedience that does not demand understanding, but walks because it believes. An obedience that does not negotiate or postpone, but responds with, "Here I am. Send me." This is the obedience that moves heaven. Not religious obedience full of empty rules. Not mechanical obedience that follows heartless protocols. But relational obedience that is born of love and trust. The obedience of those who know the shepherd's voice and follow it not out of fear, but out of the certainty that he knows the way. Trust when doors close, because I, myself, will close many to preserve your destiny. Not every closed door is a no. Sometimes it is a not yet. Sometimes it is a not this way. Sometimes it is a this is not for you. And you need to learn to read what is behind the closure. You have to learn to trust that if I close it, it is because I know something you do not know. I see something you do not see. I protect you from something you do not realize. How many times have you cried over closed doors and years later realized that closure was your salvation? How many times have you despaired because something did not work out, only to realize afterward that if it had worked out, you would have strayed from your purpose? How many times have you fought against my will because you did not recognize it, disguised as denial? I close to protect. I close to redirect. I close to prepare something better. And you need to trust that. You need to rest in that. You need to stop forcing the doors I have closed. Because when you force what I have closed, you will enter territories where my blessing does not accompany you. You will enter battles that were not yours to fight. You will enter relationships that were not yours to live. And you will suffer consequences that could have been avoided if you had trusted my closure. You will call loss what is deliverance. Because your perspective is limited. You see the now. I see forever. You see the pain of the moment. I see the glory of the destination. You see what is leaving your life. I see what is about to enter. And that is why I tell you with authority, what you call loss, I call liberation. What you call rejection, I call redirection. What you call an end, I call a new beginning. Learn the language of heaven. Learn to interpret my movements. Learn to discern when it is me who is closing and when it is simply the enemy's resistance. Because some closures come from me and others from the adversary. And you need wisdom to distinguish. When I close, there is deep peace in your soul. Even if there is sadness on the surface, when I close, there is an inner certainty that it is correct, even if you do not understand it. When I close, there is a rest that cannot be explained, but is felt. But when the enemy closes, there is unrest. There is a feeling that you must insist. There is a conviction that that door is yours and you must fight for it. Learn the difference, because where I close, do not insist. But where the enemy tries to close, resist. Where I redirect, obey. But where the enemy tries to divert you, stand firm. I will teach you discernment. I will give you wisdom. I will show you the way. But you must be attentive. You must be sensitive. You must be willing to obey, even when it hurts. If you know someone in your family who is confused and does not know which path to take, share this word now. Where I close, it is because I open forward. This is my promise. I never close without having something better prepared. I never withdraw without having something greater to give. I never end one season without having another one ready to begin. Trust my timing. Trust my process. Trust my wisdom. Because I know what I am doing. I know where I am taking you. I know what I have prepared for you. And everything works for your good. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a meaning. Even what now seems illogical will one day be clear as water. When the wind rises, remember, I calmed the seas with a word. I spoke, and the waves obeyed. I commanded, and the storm subsided. I raised my hand, and chaos turned into peace. The same power that worked that day is working today. The same God who calmed those waters calms the storms of your life. There is no storm too big for me. There is no wind too strong that I cannot stop. There is no wave too high that I cannot control. Because I am Lord over all things, over nature, over circumstances, over the visible and the invisible. And if I am Lord over all, then I am Lord over what you face now. Do not fear the swaying. Do not fear the instability. Do not fear the feeling that you will sink. Because I am in the boat with you, and no boat where I am can sink. No life where I dwell can be destroyed. No destiny that I decree can be nullified. What you should fear is not the storm, What you should fear is being outside my voice, because within my voice there is security, even in the midst of chaos. Within my voice there is direction, even in the midst of confusion. Within my voice there is life, even in the midst of death. But outside my voice there is no guarantee. Outside my voice there is no protection. Outside my voice, you are at the mercy of circumstances. And I did not create you to be a hostage of circumstances. I created you to govern them with my authority. My hand does not abandon you in the darkness. When you no longer perceive me, I carry you. When you cannot feel my presence, I am closer than ever. When you think you are alone, I hold you with my right hand. There are times when I hide my face, not because I abandon you, but because I strengthen you. There are times when I am silent, not because I have moved away, but because I teach you to walk by faith and not by sight. There are times when it seems I am not acting, but it is precisely in those moments that I am working most deeply, because my most important work is not always visible. It is not always noisy. It is not always obvious. Sometimes I operate in silence. Sometimes I work in the shadows. Sometimes I move pieces you do not see, on boards you do not know. And all this is for your good. All this is for your protection. All this is for the fulfillment of your purpose. Learn to trust in the darkness. Learn to rest in the uncertainty. Learn to stand firm when everything around you trembles. Because your firmness does not come from circumstances. Your firmness comes from me, and I do not change. I do not waver. I do not hesitate. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. And if I am unchangeable, then your security in me is unchangeable. Then your hope in me is unshakable. Then your future in me is secure. No matter how big the wave, no matter how strong the wind, no matter how dark the night, because I am greater than all this. I am stronger than all this. I am more powerful than all this. And you are in me. You are hidden in me. You are protected in me. Nothing can touch you without my permission. Nothing can hurt you without my permission for your growth. Nothing can destroy you because I am your shield. I am your fortress. I am your refuge. Like this word and subscribe to continue receiving the guidance you need on this journey. When the storm comes, and it will, do not look at the waves. Look at me. Do not listen to the roar of the wind. Listen to my voice. Do not focus on the swaying of the boat. Focus on my presence. Because where your attention is, there is your power. If you fix your gaze on the problem grows. If you fix your gaze on me, I grow, and the problem shrinks. Choose where to focus. Choose who to listen to. Choose whom to trust. And choose me always. In every storm, in every trial, in every difficulty, choose me. And you will see that I am faithful. My peace will be your sign. Where there is no peace, do not walk. Where my presence does not surround you with tranquility, do not insist. Because peace is not just a pleasant sensation. Peace is a spiritual compass. It is the instrument I gave you to guide life's decisions. When peace is present, it is because you are aligned with me. When peace withdraws, it is because something is outside of my plan. Learn to read this sign. Learn to honor this compass. Learn not to move forward when peace does not accompany you. Many mistakes you made in the past happened because you ignored the absence of peace. You went ahead despite feeling uneasy. You made decisions despite having a troubled heart. You signed commitments even without my internal confirmation. And then you paid the price. Then you faced consequences that could have been avoided. Then you asked me why I allowed it to happen when, in fact, I had warned you through the absence of peace. But you did not listen. You did not pay attention. You did not value the sign I gave you. Today I repeat it to you. My peace will be your sign. It is not apathy. It is not passivity. It is not lack of action. It is gentle authority. It is certainty without shouting. It is clarity without vanity. It is knowing without needing to prove. It is being sure without needing to convince. It is walking firmly without needing applause. This is the peace I give you. A peace that the world does not know. A peace that is independent of circumstances. A peace that remains even when everything around you is chaos. A peace that does not make sense to the mind, but makes perfect sense to the spirit, where my presence surrounds you with rest. That is your place. That is where you should be. That is where you should invest. That is where you should remain. Do not look for more signs when peace is already present. Do not demand more confirmation when rest has already enveloped your soul. Do not doubt when I have already given you inner certainty. Because doubt does not come from me. Confusion does not come from me. Constant restlessness does not come from me. I am a God of peace. I am a God of order. I am a God of clarity. And where I am, there is peace. Where I lead, there is order. Where I speak, there is clarity. Peace will be the compass that protects you from excess and guides you to the rhythm of heaven. Because there is a celestial rhythm, a rhythm that is neither rushed, nor anxious, nor lazy. A rhythm that flows with grace, that advances with purpose, that rests in wisdom. And I want you to enter this rhythm. I want you to escape the frantic pace of the world. I want you to abandon the senseless rush. I want you to stop chasing everything and start walking with me in synchronicity. At my rhythm, there is no exhaustion. At my rhythm, there is no burnout. At my rhythm, there is no collapse. Because my rhythm includes rest, include pose, includes moments of silence, includes times of waiting, and all of this is part of the process. All of this is part of the path. All of this is necessary for you to reach your full destiny. Not just that you arrive, but that you arrive whole. Not just that you achieve, but that you achieve without destroying yourself. Not just that you conquer, but that you conquer without losing your soul. The peace I give you is not the absence of challenges. It is the presence of certainty in the midst of challenges. It is knowing that you are in the right place. Even when the place is difficult, it is knowing that you are on the right path. Even when the path is narrow, it is knowing that you are in the right will. Even when that will demands sacrifice. Because my will is not always easy, but it is always good. It is not always comfortable, but it is always perfect. It is not always popular, but it is always right. And when you are in my will, peace confirms you. Peace sustains you. Peace strengthens you. Even when everything around you collapses, peace remains. Even when circumstances scream despair, peace whispers confidence. Even when logic says impossible, peace declares that I am with you. Learn to live guided by peace. Learn to decide from a place of rest. Learn to move only when my presence compels you. Because without my peace, you will build on sand. Without my rest, you will work in vain. Without my presence, you will walk alone. And I did not call you to walk alone. Confirm within yourself what I tell you. Do not seek the approval of voices that do not hear me. Do not seek the validation of those who are unaware of your calling. Do not expect everyone to understand what I am doing in you. Because the profound cannot be explained superficially. The sacred cannot be understood by carnal minds. The celestial cannot be judged by earthly standards. There will be those who question your decisions. There will be those who doubt your path. There will be those who call you crazy for following a voice they do not hear. And you must be so rooted in me that their opinion does not make you waver. You must be so sure of my voice that their doubt does not contaminate you. You must be so convinced of my calling that their lack of understanding does not deviate you. I will put a weight of glory on your spirit, a weight that is not a burden, but substance, a weight that does not bend you, but anchors you, a weight that does not crush you, but steadies you. This weight of glory will keep you standing when the applause stops. This will keep you standing when the crowd disperses. This will keep you faithful when everyone else gives up. Because your motivation will not be external. It will be internal. It will not come from the recognition of men. It will come from the confirmation of heaven. It will not depend on likes or followers. It will depend on my approval. And my approval is sufficient. It is more than sufficient. It is all you need. I teach you to stand firm, not with arrogance, not with pride, not with superiority, but with true humility that knows where the strength comes from, with authentic gentleness that knows its source, with genuine confidence that recognizes who it is based on. Standing firm does not mean never falling. It means getting up every time you fall. It does not mean never doubting. It means returning to certainty every time doubt visits you. It does not mean never weakening. It means seeking strength in me every time your strength runs out. I teach you to remain standing, not to surrender halfway, not to give up when it gets difficult, not to retreat when the opposition increases. Because what I started in you, I will finish. What I started, I will complete. What I promised, I will fulfill, but you must remain. You must abide. You must persevere, not in your strength, but in mine, not in your ability, but in my grace. Not in your determination, but in my faithfulness. The confirmation I give you is not noisy. It does not come with trumpets. It does not come with spotlights. It comes as a deep whisper in your soul. It comes as an inexplicable certainty. It comes as a peace that makes no sense, but is real. And this internal confirmation is more valuable than 1,000 external voices applauding you. It is more powerful than the multitudes that follow you. It is truer than fame or recognition. Because external confirmation can be taken away. It can change with the wind. It can disappear overnight. But the internal confirmation I give you remains. It resists the storms, survives criticism, endures opposition. If this promise of firmness and internal confirmation speaks to your heart, enjoy it now as an act of faith. Do not build your identity on applause. Do not build your confidence on the approval of others. Do not base your worth on the recognition of the world, because all of that is unstable. All of that is fleeting. All of that can be taken away in an instant. But what I build in you, no one can tear down. What I confirm in you, no one can deny. What I establish in you, no one can remove. Because it is founded on me. It is rooted in my word. It is sealed by my promise. And I do not lie. I do not fail. I do not give up. There will be days when you feel alone, days when it seems no one understands you, days when the solitude of the calling will overwhelm you. But in those days, remember the internal confirmation I have given you. Remember the weight of glory I have placed on your spirit. Remember that I am with you. And if I am with you, who can be against you if I have confirmed you? Who can deny you if I have called you? Who can stop you? No one. Absolutely no one. Because my purpose for you is unshakable. My plan is irreversible. My love for you is unconditional. Stand firm. Remain faithful. Stay confident. Not in what you see, but in what I have promised you. Not in what you feel, but in what I have declared to you. Not in what others say, but in what I have confirmed in you. When relationships cool and paths close, do not call punishment what is care. Do not interpret as rejection what is redirection. Do not view as loss what is protection, because I know what I am doing. I see what you do not see. I know the end from the beginning. And when I remove something from your life, it is not out of cruelty. It is out of love. It is because I see ahead. It is because I protect your destiny. I remove everything that consumes your lifeblood without yielding fruit. There are relationships that drain your energy without adding purpose. There are paths that keep you busy but lead you nowhere. There are commitments that fill your schedule but empty your soul. And I did not create you to live that way. I did not call you to a life of fruitless activity. I did not design you for relationships that exhaust you without building you up. That is why I prune. That is why I cut. That is why I take away. The cutting hurts. I know it hurts. I see your tears. I hear your questions. I feel your confusion when something that was once important suddenly disappears. But what you call loss, I call liberation. What you call an end, I call a new beginning. What you call rejection, I call redirection towards something greater. Pruning is not punishment. It is preparation. It is not destruction. It is purification. It is not the end. It is the beginning of something new. Because after pruning comes the season of true abundance. After cutting comes healthy growth. After pruning comes multiplication. But you need to trust the process. You need to trust the gardener. You need to trust that I know exactly what I am doing. Do not cling to what I am taking away. Do not cry over what I am closing. Do not insist on keeping what I am pruning. Because if you cling to what I remove, you will prevent the new from coming. If you cry eternally over what is closed, you will not see what I am opening. If you insist on keeping what I have pruned, there will be no room for the fruit I want to give. Let go. Trust. Rest. There are people who were meant to be with you for a season, not forever. There are paths that were right for a time, but not for this time. There are dreams that were yours in the past, but no longer align with your future. And I need you to have the wisdom to discern. I need you to have the courage to let go. I need you to have the faith to believe that what is coming is better than what is gone. Do not romanticize the past. Do not idealize what is over. Do not idolize what has already fulfilled its purpose. Because there is a human tendency to beautify what is gone and forget the reasons why I removed it. There is a temptation to return to Egypt when the wilderness closes in. There is a desire to return to the familiar when the new is scary. But I tell you, do not go back. Do not retreat. Do not seek to revive what is closed. Because what I close remains closed. What I end should not be resurrected. If you know someone who is going through a difficult transition, send this message to them now because it will be a sign of hope. Look forward. Fix your gaze on the horizon. Trust that the best is yet to come. because I do not take away to leave you empty. I take away to create space. I do not close to frustrate you. I close to redirect you. I do not prune to weaken you. I prune to strengthen you. And everything I do has a purpose. Everything I allow is correct. Everything I remove gives way to something greater. After the pruning will come the blooming. After winter will come spring. After night will come morning, and you will see that it was worth trusting. You will see that it was worth letting go. You will see that it was worth obeying even without understanding, because the fruit that will come will be abundant. It will be healthy. It will be lasting. It will not be forced fruit. It will not be artificial fruit. It will not be fruit that quickly spoils. It will be genuine fruit that endures, that nourishes, that multiplies, that blesses not only you, but many through you. Trust the pruning. Trust the process. Trust me, because I am the faithful gardener who never cuts more than necessary and never stops tending his vineyard. I will open a path before you that your maps do not contain, a path that is not in your plans, a route that does not follow the logic of what you know, because the new thing I prepare for you cannot be reached by the old paths. It cannot be conquered by the strategies you have already used. It cannot be accessed by the methods that brought you here. What brought you here will not take you there. What worked in the past will not necessarily work in the future. What was right for yesterday may not be right for tomorrow, because I make all things new. I do not repeat myself. I am not predictable. I do not fit into your formulas. And the path I open now will require a new attitude from you, a new mindset, a new way of walking. I will instruct you step by step. I will not give you the full map all at once. I will not reveal the entire route in advance. I will not show you the final destination before you start walking. Because if I showed you everything at once, you would be paralyzed. If I revealed the whole path, your mind would panic. If I told you everything involved, you would give up even before starting. That is why I guide you step by step, one day at a time, one decision at a time, one revelation at a time. And with every step, I will be with you. At every crossroads, I will show you the way. In every moment of doubt, I will give you clarity. You do not need to be afraid of getting lost. You do not need to be afraid of failure. You do not need to be anxious about the unknown, because I am your guide. I go before you. I prepare every step before you take it. I will give you a language for the new, words you did not know, expressions you did not use, ways of communicating that were not yours. Because the new territory demands a new language, the new level demands a new level of communication. The new season demands a new vocabulary. And I will teach you. I will put words in your mouth. I will give wisdom to your speech. I will anoint your communication. And you will speak with an authority that comes not from you, but from me in you. You will speak with a clarity that is not yours, but mine, through you. You will speak with a power that you did not create, but received from my presence. I will grant you silence for the sacred, because not everything should be said. Not everything should be shared. Not everything should be exposed. There are sacred things that must remain between you and me. There are revelations that are only yours. There are experiences that should not be profaned by premature exposure. And I will teach you to discern. I will teach you when to speak and when to be silent. I will teach you what to share and what to keep. I will teach you to protect the sacred from trivialization. Because we live in times when everything is exposed. Everything is shared. Everything is published. but I call you to a different life, a different posture, a different wisdom, where the secret is valued, where the intimate is protected, where the sacred is honored. Do not compare the new with the old. Do not try to fit the new into the mold of the old. Do not force what I am doing now to look like what I did before, because I make all things new. I do not renovate the old. I do not remake the old. I do not repair what is already broken. I create something completely new, something that has never existed, something unique for you, something that bears your mark, but my signature. Subscribe now so you can continue to hear every instruction I have for you on this new path. The new is scary. I know, because the new has no references. It has no visible guarantees. It has no previous testimonies. But that is precisely where faith operates. It is precisely in the new that trust is tested. It is precisely in the unprecedented that your dependence on me deepens. And I want you to depend on me. I do not want you to be self-sufficient. I do not want you to depend on your own strategies. I do not want you to depend only on what you know. I want you to trust me, to lean on me, to depend on me, because only then will you experience the supernatural. Only then will you see miracles. Only then will you witness how the impossible becomes possible. The new path is not easy, but it is glorious. It is not comfortable, but it is transformative. It is not popular, but it is yours. And when you reach your destination, you will look back and see that every step was worth it. Every sacrifice had a purpose. Every difficulty prepared you. And you will say that it was worth it to trust. It was worth it to obey. It was worth it to follow even without understanding. What was shaking will yield. I will establish you upon the rock. You will not build upon emotion, but upon the living word. Because emotions come and go, rise and fall, change with circumstances. And if your faith is based on emotions, it will be unstable. It will be fragile. It will be fickle. One day you will be on the mountaintop. The next you will be in the valley. In one moment, you will feel my presence. In the next, you will doubt everything. And I did not call you to live on this spiritual roller coaster. I did not call you to be a hostage of your feelings. I did not call you to depend on emotional experiences. I called you to be founded on my word, to be rooted in the truth, to be established in what is eternal and unchanging. My word does not change. It does not waver. It does not depend on how you feel. It is not affected by your circumstances. It is not altered by your doubts. It remains. It is firm. It is rock. And when you build upon it, you build upon something that cannot be shaken, something that cannot be destroyed, something that resists all storms. The waters will rise and fall. There will be seasons of floods and seasons of drought. There will be times of abundance and times of scarcity. There will be days of joy and days of sorrow. But your house will stand because it is founded on me, because it is built on the rock, because it is established on what is eternal.